Brooklyn and Reese Keller are juniors at Hastings High School and will be 2025 Raider graduates. During their time at Hastings High School, they have played tennis. Both Brooklyn and Reese are three-time varsity letter winners, playing at all different positions such as 4 singles, 3 singles, 2 singles, and 1 doubles. During their sophomore and junior years, they qualified for the state tournament in doubles, becoming the first state qualifiers in tennis in about 20 years. Brooklyn and Reese give a great interview where they talk about the friendships sports have allowed them to make and the role sports have played in their lives. All right, here we are with the Keller girls, Brooklyn and Reese Keller. Let's start at the beginning of your lives, girls. I always like starting off with people's parents. So let us start off with your parents and let's hear some background about them, their names, their occupations. And I always like hearing if people lived in Hastings originally, if they eventually moved to Hastings, things of that nature. So once again, let's start off with your parents.
Okay, starting off with our dad, his name is James. He actually used to live in Edina, and we used to live in Richfield before this. So when he married my mom, we moved to Richfield. He moved to Richfield, and then we moved to Hastings when we were like 4, so about 11 years ago. And then our mom, she was a judge, and she grew up here, and just she came back. Yeah, so we could be closer to our grandparents.
Wonderful. That's awesome. Next thing I like hearing about is the schools you girls attended here in Hastings. I'm sure you guys attended the same ones. So really like hearing about the teachers you guys had when you were in school. I don't know if you were always in the same classes together or if your parents had you guys split up all the time. Let's hear about the teachers you had in Hastings here. Brooklyn will go first with you too. You don't have to name every single teacher you had from K through 12, but if there are certain teachers that stuck out at each grade level, let's hear about those teachers.
Okay. Kindergarten, I had Miss Shonley. She was absolutely amazing. She taught some great life lessons like kindness and patience, got me started on the numbers, stuff like that. And then, hmm, oh, Mr. Mock, my third grade teacher, so funny, always made me smile, always had a joke to tell, and always a joy. And then Mr. Cost, my fourth grade teacher, I will always remember him. He was so nice, the greatest smile. And I think he taught me one of the most important life lessons, integrity.
Hmm.
And that still sticks with me today. And then I remember Mrs. Gullix, my fifth grade science teacher. She was amazing, always funny, always nice, so supportive. And the same with Mrs. Lundstrom, my math teacher for fifth and sixth grade. She was so great too. And then eighth grade science, Mr. Wabi, funniest person I've ever met, always smiling. He didn't have a dark side. He was like stern. I learned a lot from him. And then last, Miss Zabel, my math teacher in ninth grade. I think you were my all-time favorite teacher. I learned so much from you, and you were like a second grandma to me, and you were so great. Thank you to all my teachers.
Perfect. That was awesome. Thank you for that, Brooklyn. That was quite the list there. Reese, let's go to you.
Yeah.
Once again, you don't have to name every single teacher you had, but if there's certain teachers that stick out at each school, you can go for it.
Yeah, a lot like Brooke and said, Miss Jolney was great. I really liked Miss Howard. She was really great. And then Miss Gullix was amazing. She gives really good hugs. Also with lunch, John, super nice. Also, Mr. Molo and Mr. Wagi, super great. That was really fun classes, lots of laughs in there. And then, yeah, Miss Zabel is just the best teacher ever.
Perfect. Next thing I always like hearing about too is your sports journey growing up. So obviously you girls are big into tennis. Let's hear about any other sports you girls played growing up. Was it always tennis? Was there anything else added in there too? So once again, let's hear about your sports journey growing up. If there was something different going on, you girls can name it. But Reese, let's start with you this time.
We did a lot of stuff growing up, actually. Our parents wanted us to like dabble in everything, and our dad's main sport used to be swimming. So we did a lot of swimming, tried some soccer, some softball, and obviously tennis and some golf. That was boring. And we're also currently taking karate, which is also a really fun sport. And yeah, tennis is probably our main one that we really love.
Great. Brooklyn, anything to add in there with about the sports you played growing up?
No, I think it's the exact same as her.
Yeah, wonderful. So let's hear about your sports journey here at Hastings High School. I know you just talked about a variety of sports you played growing up. I know typically for people I have on here, sports get a little more serious at that seventh, eighth grade level. Maybe there's a little bit of JV action in there, maybe some varsity at those early ages. If not, no worries. We could just start with ninth grade. Um, if you just want to talk about tennis, that's great. If you did play any other sports during any other seasons, we could talk about that too. We really like hearing about anything that really sticks out individually with the team. So if your girls were the captains individually, things of that nature, section placing, conference placing, all state or state qualifiers, anything that goes into anything like that with your sports journey here at Hastings High School. Brooklyn, let's start with you in ninth grade and we'll go from there.
I think it started in 8th grade,
Perfect.
maybe. Yeah. We had 3 great captains and a great team. Everyone was so supportive and nice and really welcoming. Just like being the new members, that was great. You felt like you wanted to be there
Mhm.
because everyone was happy, whatever, stuff like that. And ninth, I remember it was a good season. And then I think I went undefeated at 3 and 4 singles. And then I went to sections. And then I think I lost second round to Reese Keller or something, 17th. I don't know. And then ninth grade was a fun year. That was the first time I got to play full 3 singles the entire season and like dabbled in doubles with Reese sometimes. And then I think I got all conference that year. And I was really happy, but I was sick for the banquet. So I didn't really know.
Mhm.
And my dad played a very cruel joke on me saying I did not get it. And I was very happy when I did. And then we went to sections from there. Our team lost first round to Egan. I think we were vying for the section championship and they were like the only team. I don't know. And then we went in doubles, Reese and I. And then we were ranked 3. And then it was a tough draw, but I think we got true second. So then we qualified for state. And then, am I doing this year?
Yeah, talk about this year as well. So I know sections is right around the corner here. So
Oh,
do you
yeah.
want to talk about how the season has gone so far, and then any goals you have for upcoming sections, and then anything that is going to happen after that too?
Okay, so our team, I think really the freshmen coming up, I think they did a great job stepping into their new roles and everything, like getting acquainted, because like it's a big jump.
Yeah.
Are we one?
So we just found
Sorry.
out that we got the number 1 seed for sections
Oh,
Um,
nice.
Friday. So yeah,
Sorry.
looking forward to that.
No, that's awesome. No, so walk us through what that goes into as well. So number one
Oh,
seed in the section tournament, and
yeah.
obviously with girls section, there's a difference between the team and the individual. So
Mhm.
obviously we're previewing right now the postseason, and I think this is gonna come out right after your postseason action is too. So we can just give a little preview of what that looks like, the difference between team and individual, and what that means for tennis.
Yes. Yeah, we tuned into that.
For team, you have 4 singles players, 1 through 4, then 3 doubles teams, and you all play a singular match. And basically, the team whoever wins 4 out of 7 matches wins. So it could be like 4-3, 5-2, etc. And in order to keep advancing, your team has to keep winning. So we lost to Eastridge in the second round after beating Woodbury 4-3, and Eastridge beat our team 5-2. We are out, and individuals is just obviously individuals. Each team can send 2 singles players and 2 doubles players, and then those guys square off in a bracket of 32. So the top 2 doubles teams from the section and the top 2 singles get to go to state.
Wonderful. Yeah, so like we said then too, so you guys just got to see it for sections here live on the podcast here in the interview. So your girls are the number one seed in the section for that team. And then what about individual too? So last year you talked about you guys played a lot of, I think 2, 3 singles probably throughout the year, right? And then for individual sections, your girls paired up in doubles and were state qualifiers. So what does it look like for your girls this year with team sections, or what are you guys looking at?
For team sections, I think we were ranked 6. And then we beat Woodbury 4-3 first round, really tough, but it was great to come through. And then we played Eastridge, who is section champions. Good for them. And we lost 5-2, but they played amazing. So I got nothing to say. And then Reese is going to speak. No, I don't know.
Wait, what was the question?
Yep, no worries. You're talking about last year, correct? Right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope, she wasn't.
Oh,
Okay. Last year, I think we were like the 2 seed and 3 seed, and we played Egan. And so we had a really solid singles lineup, and we were winning all our singles. We were winning all of our singles, like all of our singles and losing all our doubles. So we were all winning 4-3. So they're all really close. But Egan has the top girl in the state. So we lost our one singles. So then it was 3-4. So they beat us. So we got out that round. And then for individuals, that was a lot funner trip. So yeah, we were the 3 seed and we won all our matches up until we played when we played the 2nd seed, that was actually a pretty tough match, went into a 3rd set, and I think we won the 3rd set 7-5. And then we played the 1 seed, and it was like 2-6 on our 2nd set. We lost in a tiebreaker. I don't know what the score of that was, but yeah, we had to play true second, which is basically if the people who lose to the 1 seed, if the people who they beat also lose to the other team that the 1 seed beat, then they have to go back and they have to play each other to see who's really the 2nd place team instead of getting the farthest. And so that was a tough first set. I think we won the first set 7-5 and then just swept them the next set 6. And then we got to state. So that was really exciting.
nice. Yeah. So I think I'm understanding what's going on here now, girls. So the team has already happened for sections this
Yeah.
year, correct? Not,
Mhm.
here we go. But for doubles, you girls just got the number 1 seed in the section tournament coming up this weekend. I'm on the right track here now. Okay. I was thinking for a second then we were talking about the number 1 seed for team coming up this weekend, but team has already passed. Eastridge won it already, and their team
Yeah.
is gonna go to state. Now we're looking at individual coming up, and your sister Claire is obviously she's the number 1 singles on the team, and she'll be
Yeah.
competing again
She
in the singles, spot for sections, and you girls are gonna be paired up together for doubles.
Claire's
Is that
the
correct?
2nd seed in singles.
Yeah,
Second seed.
me and Brooklyn are going to pair it for double.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm on the same page here. Your state qualifiers last year for doubles as well. Walk us through the state tournament. What was that like for you girls? First time at the state tournament. I know you two as doubles and your sister Claire as in singles were the first state qualifiers in about 19 or 20 years, something along those lines. That was a really cool deal that we had 3 state qualifiers in the same year after a 20-year stint of not having any state qualifiers and all came from the same family. So pretty cool deal for your family. Really cool for girls tennis. Walk us through what was that like for you girls going to the state tournament at a pretty young age too.
No, so we got a pretty rough first round. We got to play Rochester Mayo. I mean, it was you win or you learn. We really learned a lot. But they were nice. That was a bonus. And then, what did we play? I think we played St. Cloud Tech in consolation. I think we lost the energy in that one. It wasn't that great. But just being there, I think was a great opportunity because one of my karate instructors told me, when you think about the Olympics, the people who get 10th, it's just like great to be there. You're like one of the best athletes. It's an honor to be there. So that was just really cool. And then you got to watch all these cool matches and think, wow, I am actually like even with these people and I can actually measure up. So I think that was really great. Yeah.
Perfect. Recent, kind of what I was talking about before, but I didn't know what I was talking about. I'm on the same page as you girls now. Let's give a little preview of what you feel like, how you girls can perform this weekend in doubles and what you're looking to do. So you got the experience last year, state qualifiers, made it to the state tournament. As Brooklyn just said, I went 0-2, but learned some really great lessons. Now moving forward, you're taking those great lessons, applying them this year. What are you looking forward to this weekend and how are you going to apply those lessons this weekend at individual sections?
Going in with a lot more confidence and a lot more experience, obviously, after being through it once. So that's going to be a big factor. And I think also being the 1 seed really helps with some confidence because that's been a struggle this year. And yeah, it's also learned a lot of new stuff over the past year and gaining confidence at the net because that's where you need to go in doubles to win the point. And yeah,
We're out of confidence.
Mhm. For sure. Brooklyn will bounce back to you. And both you girls can answer this question as well. So you play singles all year long, the number 2 and 3 single spot on the team, and now your girls are going to doubles. What's the difference between the mentality of singles versus doubles? I know Reese just talked about the difference. One of the physical differences is too, you really got to play up at the net every other probably position or every time you someone else is serving or how that goes as well. So talk about the mentality when you're playing singles all year long and now you're switching to doubles, and then anything else that goes into the physical part of the game.
Singles, you're playing for yourself, but you're also playing for your team. Well, if you miss a shot in singles, oh, it's okay. It's my fault. There's nothing I can do. Just let it go. But if you're with doubles, you're with your partner, in this case, my sister, and you feel like you let them down, but you have to let it go because you know they're okay with it and you can just move on and get the next one. Whereas, and then doubles, you really got to work on your duck and cover because the balls are flying at your face. And those reflexes got to be sharp.
Mhm.
Yeah. You got to be like willing to stick it out, I feel, because everyone is going to reset and the mentality's there. Yeah.
Reese, anything else to add in there about the mental side of going from singles to doubles, and anything else with the physical side as well?
Yeah, I think the mental side is really a big difference for me because I really struggled with anxiety this past season. And I know I did get to play like I think 2 or 3, doubles matches with people on our team. It was not Brooklyn, but I think doubles is just my safe space because there was somebody else, and I worked more on encouraging them than being down on myself, which is something that really helped me. And just being out there with somebody else on the court is a lot more fun than just being out there by yourself, and it's a lot funner, and I know it's a lot easier for me than also being by myself, and they give you that sense of encouragement that you really need when you're putting yourself down for missing, and I like to give them that sense of encouragement because nobody plays well when they're just really tired or anxious about upsetting their partner.
Perfect. Next thing we always like digging into is why you play sports. So you girls talked about playing a bunch of different sports growing up. You're in karate now too. Obviously, amazing tennis players. Why has sports been so important to you girls throughout your entire lives?
I think it's been really important because our parents really got us into it early, and then it wouldn't just be fun to sit at home and study all day.
Mm.
So that's also a really good part just to get out there and do something physical other than being at school for all day. And also, there's like a big social piece where you get to meet some new people and make some connections. And I think that's really great. And then you learn a lot about a lot of life skills, getting through stuff, and then learning, yeah, how to get through stuff and really pushing your limits and working through hard stuff like being down to match and coming back up, which I think is really important. And then karate, it gives a really great experience of like self defense, which is something that's really important, I think, for a lot of people, and also gives you a great sense of discipline and you get put in your place a lot. So that's been fun sometimes, but
Mhm.
it's also very good for me. So I really like doing that.
Awesome. Brooklyn, we'll go to you next here. We always like hearing about favorite moments so far. Obviously, you're really lucky where you get to look up and play with your older sister, Claire. You get to play with your twin sister, Reese, and you had a lot of great moments so far individually and doubles as well, being a state qualifier. Anything else to add in there as a favorite moment so far as a Raider athlete?
Oh, okay. A couple. But one of them was definitely last year at the section tournament. I guess two of them. After we beat South St. Paul, I think it was like a 3-hour match or something. And I know we had to come back in the third set because we were about to lose. So I think I hugged her after that one and we were like jumping. And that was like really exciting. And she goes to me, she's like, "You're really sweaty." And I'm like,
Mm.
"Thank you." And then after that, partying, oh, that one was really fun because it was just like you have the momentum and then you just this comes out of you all of a sudden and everything you've been working for, it just snaps together. And then boom, you're at state. But were probably my two favorites, I think.
Perfect. Reese, anything to add in for you two as a favorite moment? You don't have to share Brooklyn's. You could come up with your own too if you want. Anything for you that's been your favorite moment so far as a Raider athlete?
I really like playing doubles, but I think sometimes on our team, it's not always, but whenever we have this super great dynamic, I know in eighth grade was super fun because our captains were amazing and we did a lot of team stuff like team dinners. There was a sleepover and all that stuff. And that was super great because it just feels like a super, super close group of friends. And that's something that's really nice to have and just be yourself around. And it's super comfortable and also really helps you play into your sport because you know that's somebody you can be yourself around. And then, yeah, like team dinners this year were super fun. We played a lot of yard game, got lost sometimes, a
Mhm.
lot of sardines and hide and seek at night
Fun.
in the country. So that took a while, but it was really fun because just being with everybody and then getting to know them all better. And it was just a great experience.
Awesome. I always like hearing about success too. It's really fun to hear our alumni's definition of success, coaches' definition, and especially athletes, current athletes like yourself too. So, Reese, let's start with you. Let's hear about your definition of success and how you would define it.
As a student athlete, I think it would be like learning to get better at my sport and gaining like confidence and becoming physically and mentally stronger and just being able to get to the next level.
Perfect. Brooklyn, what about you? How would you define success?
I would say working hard for what you believe in and giving it your all, but still focusing on the mental aspect and the world around you. You still have to be involved, I feel. But successful isn't always winning. It's just loving something, I feel, and being good at it. It's a positive. Like, yeah.
Awesome. Great definitions, girls. I love both of those. The next thing that we always like hearing about is coaches. And you've had a lot of different coaches throughout your life. Once again, you played a lot of different sports. So if you want to talk about a couple different coaches, that'd be okay too. So we always try to nail down the best coach you've had, and they could be a pretty loose term at times too. So if you want to talk about a couple of different people, like I said, we can go first. So Brooklyn, who do you think would be the best coach in your life?
I have to think that through.
Okay, no worries at all. Reese, we could go to you. If you got someone that in your life that really pops out as someone that may be the best coach, let's hear about that person.
Marissa's a really great coach. I think she's super awesome because it's fun because she sometimes struggles with it. And I think that makes it all the better because she learns from her mistakes and we all just get to keep growing together. And I think it's really great because she also works so hard for it. You can tell. And she's always making a point to ask what her players are doing and to give them like, she always says tough love a lot, which I completely understand. I think that's a great policy because it gets everybody through it, but it also gives them what they need. So I think that's been really, she's really nice. And I also really like the JV coach, Alex, because he is just super fun to have around. And yeah, he's just awesome, great for some laughs. And he also took us to McDonald's one time. We all had to buy, but that was really fun. So grateful to him for letting us do that. And he also was just a really great coach and he's super awesome when it comes to encouraging people. So I really like him too.
Perfect. Brooklyn,
Yeah.
anyone with you that really that you can think about having a huge impact on your life as one of those best coaches?
Okay, so like Reese said, Marissa and Alex have always been there, always put a smile on my face, and like always want to help me make me better. Like she said, tough love. You make, and Marissa's, I know she said this a lot. I know you don't think it's going to help you, but I promise you in the future, if you trust me, it will. And she is very right. And Alex, I know he's also so great because like we said, always there for a laugh, always smiling, always positive. And if you're ever down on the court and he's there, he always comes out and he just makes you laugh and he like lifts you up. And it's just so great, I think, to have him.
Awesome. Now, this might be a trick question. Once again, you play with your older sister, Claire. You play doubles with your twin sister. Both you guys play with your twin sister. Pretty interesting. So the other thing we always like hearing about is the girls you're playing with on the court. Someone that's been a great teammate for you, someone that you might look up to, someone the same age that you really pushes you, someone you always turn to when you need that shoulder to cry on. Once again, Brooklyn, let's start with you. Who do you think the best teammate would be in your life?
We had some really great captains in eighth grade and they were really supportive. But then there's also Claire, who's obviously my sister, and she's always been supportive. It's like those four because they're always supportive, always positive, always cheering me up, and always have a great attitude, regardless of what happens. Probably, I like it would be possible to pick, I feel like.
For sure. Reese, what about you? Anyone that really sticks out in your mind as being a great teammate? And obviously, as Brooklyn just said, you got a lot of different people to choose from. If you want to name a couple people, you can go for it.
Yeah, Brooklyn's really fun to play with because we're very familiar, so it's easy to do stupid stuff on the court and not be ridiculed for it. And we'll just sing Lion King songs in really high pitched, squeaky voices. So we'll do a lot of stupid stuff out there, but it's always very comfortable. Claire's also fun too. She's a little more serious, but she's also a really good player. So that's nice to win out there. I think that's really fun. And then also, our captains are great. And then some girls from the group that we play with, Nana Vang, she's amazing. She's the funniest person to play with. She like screams after points, the most encouraging
Mhm.
person. And I just love playing with her because you cannot get mad at yourself. You cannot get mad at anything because everything is just so fun and it all just smiles and laughs. And I love her so much.
Awesome. You guys could take this one together here. I really like this one because it changes from sport to sport and it changes from our alumni to our current athletes as well. So if you have different ones, you can name it. If you have the same one, let's hear about it too. So we like hearing about an opponent that you really look forward to playing against. It could be our individual sports like track. They really look at a big event. So not so much an opponent because it's more individualized. So they're not really competing against other people. They are, but not really. But you girls could talk about an opponent you really like playing against. You always like looking forward to playing. So who do you think that would be for you girls?
Sure. I always look forward to playing Reese because she always
Mm,
gives me a challenge and we know how to play each other and exploit each other's weaknesses, I guess. And then, I mean, there's also some people from tournaments who you're really familiar with and they know how to play you, but it's really hard playing a friend. So
mhm.
you have to get the competitive mental edge you want, but it's so hard because, oh my God, I love you. I miss you. How have you been? But at the same time, oh, I'm trying to kill you.
Mhm.
So it's difficult, but yeah.
I like that. I'm looking for, like, teams in our conference or something like that, and you're talking about playing your sister. That's your biggest opponent. I really like hearing that. That's really cool. Reese, what about you? Is Brooklyn your number 1 opponent or what?
Absolutely not.
Mhm.
I struggle like with the mental side of that. Where like it's really hard playing a sibling because there's so much more drama and internal forces involved that I can never seem to get over. So that's been really tough for me to play her. But if we're doing something like non-competitive, then that's really fun because I always know what to do. But if it's in a tournament, I struggle. But outside of them, I really enjoy it because there's no pressure and everything. Yeah, and then some girls just have certain styles that are really fun to play. I love people who hit a really hard ball and just down the middle a lot too, because then I can put it anywhere. I love
Mhm.
those people. Teams, I'd have to say I really like playing Eastview. I think that was fun. And yeah, East Ridge, sorry. Elk River was also really good because she was a really top player. And that was actually one of the ones that I lost, but she played amazing. And I think that was a really fun match for me because I actually got to hit some balls because she knew how to. And then, yeah, then visitation, that was a really hard match for me because I lost the first set and I was down 0-5 with sets to six. And I actually came back and won that one, and I won the set 7-5, and then the third set 6-1, and that was, like, so it was so fun because it was so hard to do, and I think that was great to get over, and she was also a really good player, and she handled it so well, such good sportsmanship, and she was super nice at the end and just a really fun player to play, so I really appreciated that.
Super cool. Last couple questions for you girls. I'll give one question to one girl, and then the other one can take the other one, okay? So, Brooklyn, we'll start with you. I feel like Reese just got done talking, so we'll start with you here. We always like ending with advice for parents, coaches, and student athletes. So, the first group that we always look at is parents and coaches. So, think about those two kind of groups of people. If you had to look back on all your years of experience growing up playing sports and so far at Hastings High School, and you had to give advice to parents and coaches, what do you think it would be and why?
I think it would be always encourage your athletes and help them be better. And it's okay to have tough love. you are trying to teach them. And when they figure that out, they are going to be so grateful. My parents and Marissa, tough love, but it's gotten me so much better. Yeah, I would probably say that.
Perfect. Reese, second part of the question then is student athletes. Once again, same kind of thing. Think about your years of experience here at Hastings High School, your years of experience playing sports growing up. If you had to give younger girls, younger athletes some pieces of wisdom from your experiences, what do you think would be?
I have a few. So first, listen to the people who tell you to do stuff because they're not wrong. And it gets you a lot farther than doing just your own thing. So that's pretty helpful. And then also to remember to have fun while you're out there, although that sounds really basic, instead of just getting really down on yourself and being frustrated because you're playing a sport to have fun. And I think that's
Mhm.
really important to remember to do instead of just thinking of winning or thinking, oh, I missed this or I didn't win this. And that's just not a good attitude to have. And then also try to make friendships because that makes it a lot more enjoyable instead of just being in it for yourself. Like bond with your teammates, with your coaches, and then you actually have a lot more fun like in practice. I know some practices can be really bad because you have a lot of people have to run really far or something. That does not sound fun. But I think like being with teammates who would encourage you and coaches too, I think that would make that a lot better and completely worth your while.
Perfect. Girls, that's all the questions I got for you tonight. Anything else that you want to get off your chest? Any shout outs you want to give? The last thing we always do is just turn the microphones over to our guest so you guys can go for it. So, like I said, anything else you want to talk about, any questions I forgot to ask, you guys can go for it. The mic is yours.
I want to say thanks to my parents because I don't say it enough. They've been through a lot. So thanks to them, I think that's, yeah, just really big.
Yeah, definitely would agree with her on that one. And then thank you to my grandma for coming to every match and being a huge cheerleader. I know she went to the Eastridge match and it was freezing. So she was like wrapped in her little blanket and we were playing next to each other and we looked at grandma and laughed. It was the cutest thing because she loves to be there and she loves to watch and she's like our number one cheerleader tied with her mom. Oh, thank you to them.
Awesome. Thanks, girls.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.